I want to double the quota as from now.
Right. I just hope we can trust her. Screws are a different breed.
Not this one. Too much to lose. And if she makes a liar out of me, boyfriend's history.
I take it these are for your sister?
Didn't even know they were in there. Someone must have dropped them in my bag.
I'm sure they did. Yes? Good. Thank you, Mrs. Radcliffe. Police are on their way. Take her down to the interview room, Mr. Adams.
But I told you I was set up.
And lock her in.
I gotta make a call.
I don't think you're in any position to make demands, Williams.
I'm not demanding, I'm asking. I can ring the solicitor to meet me down the cop shop, can't I?
All right, one call and then take her down.
Yes, Governor.
Sorry I'm late, Governor. Radcliffe told me about drugs being found on one of the visitors.
Yes, Janet Williams' sister.
Did she have anything to say?
Denied everything, of course.
I suppose you've called the police.
They're on their way, and she's been allowed her phone call.
Her solicitor?
She asked some friend to arrange that. Could you tell the duty officer that he's on his way?
Of course, Governor.
I've got Janet Williams outside.
Bring her in, please.
This could be interesting. Do you mind if I stay?
Your sister requested an extra visit with you this morning. I'm afraid she won't be able to make it.
Has something happened to her?
She was caught bringing drugs into the prison. I can only presume they were meant for you.
Sandy wouldn't do that.
You've also had a number of special visits during the last few weeks, no doubt for the same purpose.
Honest, Mrs. Reynolds, I don't know anything about it. Someone must be setting us up. Who busted her?
You're wasting your time, Williams. I wasn't here.
Is there anything you wish to say before you're taken to solitary?
Solitary? I haven't done anything wrong.
You'll be released after your cell's been searched and the police have questioned you.
I'll take her up, Governor.
Thank you, Miss
Come on,
Williams.
Williams.
What the hell's not here?
Get a move on.
Rodney deserves credit for this, but it couldn't have come at a worse time for you. Now the department's more likely to believe his version of the April Fool's joke than yours.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Reynolds. At least you believe me.
Well, I'm on my way to the college this afternoon to make
Well, you
sure...
don't have to do that just for me.
I'm doing it for both of you. I'm prepared to give credit where it's due, but I must have honesty from my officers. And I want to make sure that your instructors get both sides of the story.
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together. Excuse me, whoever you are, but do you know when they're gonna let me out?
I still don't reckon it's fair. If you'd have been there like you were supposed to, none of this would have happened.
I was late. She was early.
It's not going to help her much now.
I should keep her mouth shut.
Yeah, unless I tell her not to.
Don't threaten me, Williams.
What about the stuff in my cell? If they have a search, I'll get nicked.
Don't worry, I've got something important to do first, and then I'll tell Maxwell.
Fat lot of good that's going to do. She's going around the twist. All she ever does is mother that drongo in there.
You keep your mouth shut, and I'll worry about hers.
You owe me one, Ferguson.
Whoever you are, but do you know when they're gonna let me out of here? 12, 13, 14.
Hi there.
Oh!
Are you all right?
Oh, it's me back. I've stuffed it.
Just relax.
Oh, bloody hell.
There.
Oh, jeez, must have been a cramp. Oh, I'm sorry about me language. I forgot myself.
Don't worry about it. I just wanted to have a chat about...
Hey, girl needs to work out regular. Firms up her,
pectorals.
Oh, never heard him called that before.
About this tape, the one the women
Oh,
made.
look, there's plenty of time to talk about that later. I'd rather talk about you and me.
You girls must get up to a lot of mischief in here.
Oh, there's no harm in that, is there?
Depends. If you were to grab a trainee officer and pinch his uniform, he might be too embarrassed to tell anyone.
Depends on what he did when he had no clobber on.
And if someone was to use that uniform in a videotape, it could put the officer in a lot of trouble.
I reckon there's a lot of better ways of getting into trouble. How about you and me having a bit of a workout?
Come on, you must know something about that tape. Or are we going to play cat and mouse all day?
Oh, I I reckon I must have pulled a muscle. Makes it real hard to think.
How about you give it a bit of a rub and I'll see what I can remember.
Come on, Alice. Why are you all covering up for him?
No nookie, no nada. What do you reckon?
It's not on. I'll find out what really happened soon enough.
Pigs, you will! We can talk about it tonight.
Oh, bugger it. Oh. I reckon you're mad, little Lurchka. I mean, she's hopeless round anything in trousers.
Oh, she'll keep her mouth shut. There's no harm in her having a little bit of fun. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about your little problem.
Oh, no problem. I mean, me and Jessica will be a great team. Best blackjack dealers this side of the border.
What's it like? Having a little rugrat sitting inside there.
Feels like you ate too much lunch.
Williams has been taken to solitary.
That means Roddy must have sprung her sister.
The plan's working. There'll be a cell search any minute.
Have you warned all the gang?
Everyone except Roach. I'll go and do that now. Oh, watch out, everyone. Here comes Hot Man.
How'd it go?
Oh, he only wanted a talk.
They're the ones you got to watch.
Don't worry, Lurch. Plenty other fish in the sea.
Yeah, well, I don't know why some of them don't swim my way. Come on.
Harry Parker?
It's Joan Ferguson. Look, something's gone wrong.
Yes. Very careless of you.
I was running late and...
I'm not interested in excuses, Ferguson. This is going to cost me a lot of money.
Look, Parker, it was an accident.
A mistake, Ferguson, and they're things we all learn by.
What do you mean?
You were warned what would happen to your friend if you slipped up.
Andrew? But he had nothing to do.
Morgan's already taking care of it.
Then you have to stop him.
I don't have to do anything. And I don't make idle threats. I'll be in touch.
Wait. Parker! Come on, Maxwell, shift yourself. I haven't got all day.
Leave me alone.
Now listen, William's sister has been caught bringing the cocaine in. We can stay out of trouble if we keep...
Like you were going to keep Merle out of trouble.
Oh, she's safe enough. Now listen, you'll be questioned. There'll be a cell search, so get that coke out of William's cell.
I had no right to use her like that.
Listen to me.
No, not anymore. I listened to you once and now Merle's sitting up in solitary. Find someone else to do your dirty work.
Now, you listen to me, and you listen good. You breathe one word about me, and you will wish you'd never been born.
Is that all?
Not one word.
I already wish I hadn't been born.
Judging by the number of visits she's had, there could be quite a trade going on.
Well, the police are questioning her now. Her solicitor's making sure she's not going to say much.
I don't suppose I'll get much from either of them.
Sister seems pretty smart. I mean, she knows she's got a fair chance of being sent here.
Janet's sister, that's all we need.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Governor.
What is it?
Look, something's come up. My flatmate could be hurt. I'll have to go home.
Yes, of course. Is there anything I can do?
No, I'll be in touch as soon as I've sorted it out. Thank you.
It's not like Jane.
I don't suppose she's got many friends. You know how protective she can be.
Well, I better get on with the cell search.
Yes, you better take the trainees with you. Make sure they know it's drugs we're looking for.
And if we don't find anything in William's cell?
There's more than one cell in this prison. I want the whole place cleaned right out.
I was hoping to get something out of Jenkins. Apart from being propositioned, that is.
And you survived?
Just. Well, how about you and me having a bit of a workout, huh?
Oh, Jane Fonda eats your heart out.
Must be bored out of their brains.
Who's that?
Alice Jenkins.
Met cane toads with more sex appeal.
Wondered where you spent your nights off.
Very funny.
It's a lot funnier than you lying about swapping those tapes.
Oh, you're not still going on about that, are you?
I just thought you might have had a twinge of conscience.
She never gives up, does she?
You've had your joy today. Don't push your luck.
I just don't like seeing you get sucked in. Us guys should stick together, you know.
Listen, mate, I know you've gone too far to back down now, but don't try and turn Marty against me. He knows I'd never lie to him.
Just ignore him. Come on, we'll get some fresh air.
We're about to start a full cell search, so come and use some energy and do something constructive.
We haven't met before. I'm Josie Lewis from next door. I knew you were staying with Andrew, but I never got round to having a chat.
Yes, look, I'm in rather a hurry at the moment. Could we talk some other time? Did you happen to notice what time Andrew went out?
Didn't the police contact you? They were here trying to get in touch with relatives.
Something happened to Andrew?
Oh, I'm so sorry to have to tell you. He's dead. There was an accident. Oh, he was such a nice man. Always so friendly. Oh, God, this must be a terrible shock for you. If there's anything I can do to help...
Look out, here they come. The three blind mice and the farmer's wife.
Where's Waters?
Gone to see a man about a dog.
Oh, she knows the rules. There's enough witnesses, so start. And you keep your voice down or you'll get your tail cut off.
What do you think you're doing?
He could be hiding something.
They're me undies.
Then why do you keep them under the bed?
Because it presses them and keeps them cool. Well, what are you looking at me like that for? You think I had two heads or something?
Definitely got something here.
Right, we'll keep searching. The start. Go and find Waters and bring her here immediately.
Come, Moffat, I'm against the drugs as much as you are.
Then I expect that attitude to be reflected amongst the women.
Oh, what do you want me to hold their hands when they go to the loo?
Connors, I don't have to spell out the consequences of the women being armed.
Look, you've got them all on charges. I'm behind you 100%.
Good. Then you'll lead by example and the women won't try to make fools of my officers.
They do that pretty well by themselves.
24 hours in solitary might change your point of view.
Okay, I'm listening.
And there'll be no more deceptions like the incident with the uniform and Mr. Adams.
Hang on a minute. If you're calling us liars, that means Adams is one too.
I've made myself clear if the women's behaviour doesn't improve, their privileges will be withdrawn.
That's making everyone suffer because there's a couple of bad eggs.
You can take it as a warning. While I'm in charge, regulations will be followed to the letter. Is that quite clear? Then you can go back and tell them. They lose buy-up for 1 week. Thank you, Mrs. Morris.
I think I should move into a motel until I find a place of my own.
You shouldn't have to do anything. You were right. In my memories, I ought to keep them to myself. Certainly not foist them in on you. It's amazing what a walk in the night air can do to clear your thoughts. I was trying to put you into Mary's shoes. I didn't realize at the time. I hope you can forgive me.
Of course.
Your friendship is very special to me.
No reason why we can't stay friends. Hello. I want to speak to Detective Inspector Grace. He sent one of his couriers into the prison. I wasn't there to protect her, and she got busted. So he blamed me and had Andrew killed. And if I'd known he was that cold-blooded, I'd have come to you earlier, but as I said, I was scared.
And now you're not?
He murdered my best friend. I want to see him pay for it.
Well, we could use you, Joan. But we couldn't guarantee your safety.
I can look after myself.
It's bloody tempting. I mean, you could go to Parker, tell him you've changed your mind and now you want to work for him. We could wire you up with a bug.
When do we start?
Oh, it's not that easy, Joan. I mean, I want to get the bastard as much as you do, but I've got a superintendent that's not too keen on using civilians in this situation.
Yes, well, you tell your boss that if he doesn't nail Parker, I will.
You're the last person I would have expected to have cocaine in her cell. Do you have any explanation?
No, not really.
You're admitting you used it. I know you haven't had an easy time since you've been here, but taking drugs isn't the solution.
There isn't any solution, Mrs. Reynolds.
It's not just a matter of getting the women to accept you. You could be here for some time. The sooner you come to terms with prison life...
You want me to be like them?
Not at all, but I repeat, taking drugs is not going to resolve your situation. You'll have to be punished like any other prisoner.
I am like any other prisoner. What makes you think I'm any different?
When you arrived here, I could see you were different. I can also see how you're changing.
What do you expect? My husband has left me. The women bash me when they feel like some fun, and you sit there and tell me I'm changing? Well, if you're so bloody concerned about it, why don't you do something?
Give me the names of the people involved and I will.
Oh, sure, I lag on them and tomorrow morning I get carried out of here on a stretcher.
How do you expect me to protect you if you won't do anything to protect yourself?
I don't know. You're the governor.
That's enough.
Tell that to the women. Convince them that I love my child. I can run in here forever, but I just can't be pushed anymore. Haven't I been punished enough? Haven't I been punished enough?
I think you better get Sister Hall.
Yes, all right. I just thought for once we... Yes, all right. Oh, he won't buy it. He wouldn't buy it. They think that the press and the media would come down on us too hard if anything happens to you.
Well, what's going to happen now?
Well, the narcos are still tailing him. Maybe he'll slip up or something. I don't know.
And maybe he won't. Now, listen, his lawyers will run rings around you lot unless you get some hard evidence and I can get it.
Look, Joan, you're preaching to the converted. The department won't let me risk your life.
Oh, what are they doing now? Do I sit around here and wait till this house burns down too, or he sends his thugs around again? Does someone else have to get killed?
I'll lean on Parker. He knows we're onto him. If anything happens to you, I'll come down on him like a ton of bricks.
Oh, a lot of good that'll do me.
Well, it's the best offer I got. I'll just keep patrols watching your place night and day.
And after that?
After that, I think... Look, I don't think Parker's going to do anything. I mean, it's not as if you've worked for him or you've double-crossed him. All you've done is refused an offer. That is all you've done, isn't it, Joan? Hmm?
Yes, of course. I wouldn't work with scum like that.
No. I'm just checking, you understand? I mean, it does surprise me that Parker's going after you so hard. He's usually not so enthusiastic.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to sit around and wait for him. I'm going to move out of here tomorrow.
Good idea. Just keep in touch, let us know where you are, and I'll let you know if there's anything happened about the hit and run. And Joan, don't you bloody well do anything on your own.
Well, you just get him behind bars.
The woman's on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Those tablets took a long time to take effect.
How long will they last?
Oh, 5, 6 hours. But I'd like to keep her in here longer than that. She desperately needs the rest. And I think the doctor should examine her.
She's been under a lot of pressure. I didn't realize it was as bad as this.
Well, we could keep her on medication when she goes back to the women. Or we could transfer her to a psychiatric unit. Her condition doesn't warrant it, but we're to give her a break from the women.
No, I'd rather not. Let's wait and see how she comes out of it.
Sorry, Mel.
No, no, Miss Ferguson. Lucy, leave her alone. I'll get Connors, not her. Bob, you can help me. Talk to Alan. Oh, don't leave me. I need you.
It's the effect of the sedative.
Could you write down what she says, especially if it's about Noel Jones or Miss Ferguson?
Of course, I'll be on duty all night.
Good, I'll have a look at it in the morning.
I've just had a call from your friend Detective Grace. He was concerned about you.
Keep away from me.
He must have told you in quite a story. You know what happens to little girls who tell lies, don't you?
I won't work for you.
It's too late for that. You've gone too far.
What did you expect? I'll see you behind bars for the rest of your life, you murdering bastard.
You're dead, Ferguson. And don't kid yourself, Grace will help. I've been playing their games for years, and they can't touch me.
Good. Well, you go for it. I'm waiting.
You're a fool.
You push just one more inch, and I'll kill you, Parker. I'll kill you.
I thought you might like one of these before you go to the academy.
Wonderful. Going to join me?
Yes. Oh, it's good to stop for a minute, isn't it?
Yes. Wonder what else can happen today.
It's been a beauty, hasn't it?
Yes. Poor Maxwell. She just isn't equipped for this place. She's just a suburban housewife who hasn't even begun to cope with the trauma of killing a child.
Do you want me to go up and see her whilst you're at the training school?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind. She's sedated, of course, but she's very restless, muttering in her sleep a lot.
Anything that might help us?
Perhaps. She's mentioned Merle a lot. Seems to be worried about her, about using her in some way. The interesting thing is she's mentioned Merle and Joan in the same breath.
Wasn't it Joan, being very deputy governor, who suggested Merle's transfer?
Yes, it was. I wonder why.
Well, anything's possible with Joan.
Yes, and with Kath the way she is, there's no way I'm going to apply any pressure.
Well, at least we're aware something could be going on.
Yes, I've alerted Sister Horn. She's monitoring everything Kath says.
We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed.
Anyway, I'd better be going. Not going to enjoy this, but I think it's necessary.
I agree.
Meg, I'm not getting paranoid, am I?
Why?
Because in young Rodney Adams, I see a potential Joan.
No, you're not paranoid. And if that's the way you feel about him, the sooner you alert the training school, the better.
And you're not a lawyer? Then I'm afraid you can only visit in the normal visiting hours. Yes, visits outside these hours are only granted at the discretion of the governor, and I'm afraid she's not available at the moment. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Miss Ferguson. Picked the wrong afternoon to be off duty. You missed all the excitement. We had a drug bust. I got Janet Williams' sister with the lot. Just had this feeling,
Yes,
you know.
Mr. Adams, I've heard about your success this afternoon. As Deputy Governor, I congratulate you.
Miss Ferguson, what are you doing back here? Everything's covered.
Yes,
There's no
Governor,
need
it's all right. I finished my business earlier than I expected, so I'll get on with my shift.
Rodney, I'm on my way to the training school. If there's anything you'd like me to add to your statement, it's still not too late.
I told you what happened, Mrs. Reynolds.
Please, think about it. If we find out later on that Delia's telling the truth, your whole career could be on the line.
I'm sorry you don't believe me, but Delia is the one who's lying, not me. I've nothing more to say.
So be it.
Better get in the mood, love, because they're all very keen.
Just stick it in first, you'll be sweet.
That sounds better. It takes a lot of energy. I don't think I've got enough for that today.
Just borrow some from the gang and listen to them. Shut up, you lot. Their hands.
I like blocks of wood and stuff.
Oh, bugger the blocks of wood. For fellas, I'm interested in.
Bugger the fellas, we can do a drop on Maxwell and Williams while they're up in solitary.
Go to the top of the class, Lex. Now shut up and give Laurie a go.
All right, if you really want me to give you a go, now come on. Put your legs slightly apart, move that bench back over there.
Oh, right, what's your hurry?
Leave me alone.
I have been. Thought you'd know to stick it.
Neutral, will you?
Look, if you're going to come heavy like a top dog, I don't want to know it. Geez, you're hard to get on with. We used to be friends, remember?
Yeah, well, it's different in here. Bong said you're changing his room.
Right. And I wouldn't say he's been so smart, would you?
Suppose not.
I'm top dog because I care about what happens to me mates. I don't come on heavy because I like the sound of my own voice, right?
Okay. So I didn't listen to you and I've copped a charge. Happy now?
No, I'm not happy. Because that charge is going to go on your record and it's not going to sound too good in court.
So you want what?
And I didn't come out here to say I told you so. I want us to be friends again. Gang would be pleased to have you back.
Reed, I don't know. Sure, I've been stupid. It's just me, I guess. But if anybody comes on heavy and says, don't do that, I can't help it. I just go straight ahead and do it.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This isn't getting us anywhere. Friends?
I don't know about the game yet, though, eh?
Oh, that's okay. Whatever you want. But there's no point in mooching around by yourself. Come on, let's go see how the Karate Kids are doing.
Oh, yes! Oh, how'd you manage to do that? You're only a midget!
Difficult one, isn't it?
It certainly is, but it's my responsibility. And I felt it was only fair to them and the service to make a report to you now.
We have no proof, you say?
None whatsoever. Only a very strong gut feeling that Adams is lying to protect himself in some way. I don't think he's good officer material.
It's a pretty quick assessment, Mrs. Reynolds. I'd rather you defer judgment till the end of this work experience period.
You know me. If I feel something strongly enough, I have to say it.
Yes, and I respect you for it. Your average is pretty good. Now, you've got to give him full marks for that drug bust this afternoon, though. Which reminds me. Watkins! What the hell do you think you're doing?
Just trying to figure out how a drug dealer would think, sir.
Fast, Watkins. That's how he would think. Fast. If you don't move your butt fast, you'll be here all night. You ought to be thankful I didn't send him.
Takes all kinds.
All right. Back to our problem. Now, both their stories could be true. But without concrete evidence, I can't take action against either of them.
I thought that's what you'd say. You've always been fair.
Which brings us back to Adams. Now, I know you're renowned for your gut feelings, but...
Let's just wait, shall we? But you'll see. And so the incident's closed now. No one's record will be affected at all.
But that means he's...
I said the subject's closed, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds.
That's all, thank you.
Not quite what you hoped for?
No. Darman's fair. Without evidence, what could he do?
Grill the little horror till he cracked.
Meg, you've been watching too much television. Dare I ask what's happened while I've been away?
Nothing serious at all. Maxwell's much more relaxed, so I have nothing to report.
Poor woman. I'm glad.
Oh, do you want Mel Jones to stay in solitary till tomorrow?
No, it's not really good for her being shut up there by herself. But the only person she likes is Maxwell. I'd hate Connors to have a go at her.
Well, do you want me to have a word with Connors?
Might be better if it wasn't official. And get Mel back to her cell before lights out.
Right. Oh, I don't know why Joan bothered to come back. She was here 5 minutes and then gone again.
I give up.
My darling Bongo. No. Too mushy. Hi, Bong. Gee, I miss you.
Get a move on, Lurch. Oh, it's all right for you. You didn't end up on the floor. Come on, I ain't cool over.
Don't worry, the bruise will be out tomorrow. You can show 'em to Marty.
Shut up, you lot. G'day, Roach. Thought we'd pay you a visit.
A nice, friendly visit.
Hey, yeah, Reed's going to make a speech.
Yeah.
You're a bunch of loudmouths. Roach, we've come to ask you to join the Warriors again. I know we didn't see eye to eye there for a while, but that's all in the past, and the Warriors don't hold any grudges, so what do you say?
Yeah. Jeez, thanks. I'm glad that you don't hold no grudges. I don't either. Just don't like taking orders, I guess. But I can't promise that I won't do me crumb again, but...
So what?
Now we know, at least we can talk about it, right?
Right.
So, without any further ado, it gives me great pleasure to give you back your colours. All right, you haven't finished. Lorelei, I know you haven't been with us very long, but, well, you're okay. And we've all unanimously decided to vote you an official member of the gang too.
Look, that's very sweet of you. And I love you all and I'd do anything for you. But you see, I'm not really one for joining things. I just want to be friends with everyone, and if I joined the Warriors,
Look, don't worry about it, love. We're happy just to have you as our friend, aren't we, girls?
That's what the Warriors is about too. So what do you say? 1, 2, 3, Warriors!
What's all the noise about?
Oh,
I could
you
have
know,
heard you down to the governor's
Mr. Adams,
office.
we're just letting off a bit of steam.
Well, just try and keep it down. I don't want to be unfair, but fun's fun.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Adams.
Oh, I've got some more good news for you, too. Mrs. Reynolds has just spoken to me re the uniform affair. And the matter's now officially dead, so you're all off the hook.
What do you mean we're off the hook? Don't you mean you're off the hook? How about a little thank you for our quick thinking?
Yeah, we saved your neck too. How about
I
it?
quit while I was ahead, Jenkins. You pull another stunt like that, you won't know what hit you. My stocks are pretty high with Mrs. Reynolds after the drug bust today, and that's the way I aim to keep it. Right. We'll get back to the recreation room. You know you're not supposed to gather in the cells like this.
Ooh, what a pompous young man.
Turkey.
Oh, if his brains were elastic, there wouldn't be enough to sew garters for a canary.
He needs taking down a peg.
He sure is up himself.
Yeah, you got any ideas, Reed? We're working on it. Come on back to the rec room. Lex, you're pretty good at drawing, aren't you?
Yeah?
Oh, gee, you should have seen her.
Where's your friend?
He doesn't know the deer. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he knows that somebody's touching him and caring about him. It's important when you get to be our age. It's important at any age.
Looks like an apparent buggy is not.
Break up that huddle down there. I thought I told you to get back to the rec room. Move it, Connors!
Oh, yeah, right, Mr. Adams. Sorry. Come on, girls.
I don't like getting heavy, you know.
It's a pity more of the screws didn't feel like that, eh, girls?
Yeah, you bet. Some of the others, you can't even pick your nose without copping the charge.
Well, we want to apologise too. I mean, you were right to have a go with us about the uniforms. If Reno had found out, she'd have come down on us like a rickety dunny in a hurricane. Isn't that right, girls?
Yeah, sure is. He's a brick.
A brick!
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that very much.
Think nothing of it. Come on, girls.
A brick? It was the only thing I could think of.
Think as you mean.
I can guarantee you wouldn't have got away with it in the Navy.
Your last word?
My last word.
Taking it easy, are we?
No, Rodney. It's our coffee break.
Coffee's bad for you. It keeps you awake all night.
Nothing will keep me awake tonight.
Yes, I suppose it has been quite a day. Very successful, though. First the drug bust, and I've just had a great vote of confidence from the women.
Hey?
Yes, they just told me what a great officer they think I'd make and how much they like me. Very encouraging, I must say. Vitamins, that's what you should be having, not coffee.
Rodney?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. That's very interesting.
Yes, it's good to know what the women really think of you.
Thanks.
I needed that.
One move and you're dead. Oh, Andrew's daughter. My God, I could have... You must have been terrified.
Yes, I was. Well, you sounded pretty terrified yourself.
True. Won't you sit down, please?
You're Joan, are you?
Yes, I'm sorry. Joan Ferguson.
My father mentioned you in his letters, but I hadn't realised you were living here. That's why I thought it was okay just to use my key and come on in.
Oh, but of course. My house burned down a couple of weeks ago, and your father was kind enough to let me stay here until I found another place.
Yes, that sounds like Dad.
I must apologise about the gun. I've been very nervous since the accident.
Please don't explain, I understand. The police got in touch with me and I flew straight down to make arrangements.
Yes, of course. Can I get you a drink or something?
Oh, coffee, thanks. I'm very glad you're here. I don't think I'd like to be alone tonight either.
What are you laughing at? Everyone's been laughing at me all night. Have I suddenly sprouted big ears or something?
Turn around.
What do you mean?
Just turn around.
Oh, those bloody women. I've been walking around with this on my back all night. They won't be laughing when I get through with them.
Hold your horses, Rodney, and calm down.
Calm down. If you think I'm going to let them get away with that, you've got another thing.
There's nothing you can do about it. You'll only give them the satisfaction of knowing how upset you are.
Thanks for the advice, Mrs. Morris, but I'm going to handle this my way.
Rodney, the women are bored, and a blast from you isn't going to stop them playing jokes. You've got to learn to take it in your stride if you want to be a successful officer. Now, loosen up. Learn to laugh at yourself a little.
I don't think I'm funny.
There you are. It'll warm you up. You sure you won't have anything to eat?
No, I couldn't eat anything. Thank you.
I've put a bit of sugar in that. You've had a shock. It helps.
Yes. I don't think I quite believe it yet.
So, I know what you mean. Andrew talked often about you and your brother. He was very proud of you both.
We were in such a hurry to do our own thing. Oh, we were very happy at home, but...
Couldn't wait to get out to conquer the world, eh?
And I haven't really seen much of Dad since I left home. Always thought, he's okay. He's there. There's plenty of time. And I left it too late, didn't I? Oh, I love him very much.
I know. I really do know.
How dare you, Connors? How dare you try and make a fool of me?
Would we do that?
Watch it, Connors, or you and your whole gang will be on a charge.
Why? What for? Mrs. Reynolds will want to know why, too.
You think you're smart, don't you?
Oh, I don't know about that. But it sounds to me like you're trying to...
Now,
prove
you listen to
something
me,
honest.
madam. I may only be a trainee officer now, but I care about this job. And if any of you women get in my way, you won't know what hit you.
Oh! Scary, isn't he?
There you are, Mel. You'll be more comfortable in here. Good night. It's lock up in 5 minutes.
Where's Cash? She's not here.
She's in the infirmary tonight. She'll probably be back tomorrow.
It's a hospital, isn't it? What's the matter with her?
She just needs a rest, that's all. Now go to bed like a good girl.
I don't like hospitals, and Kath wouldn't like them either. I want to see her.
You can't see her now. She's asleep.
But you said she's sick, and if she's sick, I want to look after her.
Merle, she's all right. She's being looked after. And do as I say and go to bed.
I can't stay here by myself. I'm frightened.
Nobody's going to hurt you. The door will be locked in a minute.
No, I hate it when you lock the door. That's when the noises come. I don't want to stay here without Kath.
Hey, what would Captain Marvellous say if he could see you crying like this?
Hey, he'd say, I wasn't very brave, but nobody could be as brave as him. He's the best person in the whole world.
Right. And because he's so brave, don't you think we should all try to be just a little like him?
How? I couldn't save the world.
Captain Marvellous doesn't want us to save the world. We've got him here to do that. But let's just pretend he had to stay in this cell all night.
He'd just go whiz bang and be out in a minute.
Wait a minute now. What if somebody really needed him to stay in this cell all night, and that it was the only way that he could save everyone else here in the prison? What would he do then?
He'd say, no job is too small for me. I'm here to save the whole world. And he'd stay all night then.
Of course he would. So they lock the door and turn all the lights out. Then the noises come. And they're getting closer and closer, and Captain Marvellous doesn't like it either. They seem to be all around him. They're getting louder and louder, and he thinks he'll go mad. But he stands up and faces them. With his big fist, he lashes out. Whiz, bang, pow. The noises don't like that. Whiz, bang, pow again goes Captain Marvellous. And the noises are going. They're getting softer and softer. One more pow and then we'll go.
But they'd only go because he's Captain Marvellous.
No, Mel. Noise doesn't like noise. And Captain Marvellous knows that. And he wants you to know it too. So if the noises come in the night, all you've got to do is go whiz, bang, pow, just like Captain Marvellous did.
Parker said to tell you, you've got a second chance. Change your mind by midday tomorrow, or the daughter will get it. Lucky she turned up, aren't you?
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines.